Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. I know it's been a while, I will apologize. Been a couple of weeks here. I've been trying to get back on and play. I haven't even been able to get on and do the dailies, get the daily presents most days here for the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of changes at work, which have required me to spend a lot of time going to meetings and things. And then at home, I've had a couple of cars I've had to work on. And then just last weekend, when I thought I was ready to go and I was eager to get on and play, I ended up having a bit of an illness and spent 2 days curled up in bed underneath a blanket. But we are back now and ready to go. And once again, I do apologize for the delay. When we left off, we were here at Gathforthnier, which, if I can pull up the map, right here, it is a hidden little cave system in the area of Angmar. We had just left Lorniel's quarters. If you remember in the last episode, we had passed the Ramas Duelon, I believe is the name of it, the line of watcher stones that crosses Angmar and prevents people from traveling into the deeper regions of it. We had traveled in trying to find the Lost Ranger Expedition, and we have found the remnants of it here. This is where the leader led his people. I believe his name Lorniel. I cannot remember what her father's name is. He was the leader of the expedition. Let's see if it says here in this anywhere. Nope, just that she believes her father is still alive. So her father was the leader. It started with a G. I cannot remember at the moment. I'll throw the name up right here across the screen. He was the leader of this ill-fated expedition, and he was taken prisoner by the forces of Carn Dûm, the sorcerer king, witch king's old stronghold here in the northernmost parts of Angmar, and she believes him still be alive. She has sent us on a quest. What's it called? Crossing the Shadow. We are to find a sympathetic hillman named Ragnar, who is at a nearby town, one of the Angmarum towns here. So let us go back out into Angmar. Here we go. And we should be able to pull up an actual map of the region here at this point. Now, we are right up here. You see Hinbar at the top of the map. We are right over here. This is Gathforthnier. And it says just to the west of us, there is a hillman town. So I'm wondering if it's talking about here or here. And that the guy that we're looking for will be found just to the south of it, I believe it says. Let's take a look and see. We are looking for a fellow named Ragnar, south of Baal Catharnak. So Baal Catharnak. And we need to find Ragnar and see if he has word of where her father might be found. So let us go ahead and mount up. Let's see, I need to turn on, is it? There we go, Alt F10. Turn on the lantern as well, so we got a little pool of light about us. And head back down the path to that poor, diseased, polluted lake down here. Now, big question at this point is going to be which of these settlements is it that we need to get into or skirt south of and find this Angmarum hillman, or this hillman rather, who is wanting to leave the services of the Angmarum and side with the free peoples. Have to be careful because there are a lot of things like that spider here about. So why don't we make like a burglar here and go into sneak mode. And I think we have replaced our cloak. We had our Harbinger's cloak that gave us the plus 8% to our movement speed. I do believe we have replaced that one with a much more sturdier one, giving us a much higher armor class and abilities and stuff. There's one of the ancient evils you'll find, a Maraval. You'll see a lot of these creatures. It's like a ancient evil, almost like a demon bird woman. You'll see them here. They're all over the Angmar region. It was the first place that you saw them. In fact, there's a cave nearby that has tons of them. You see the wings coming off of her forearms there, and the cantilevered bird-like legs. There's also a lot of them in Moria as well. Moria being not only having been run over by orcs in the past, but as you remember Gandalf saying that in the depths of Moria there are things that are older and deeper than the Dark Lord, and that he has not the slightest clue of, that were around long, long before he ever existed. And whenever you see things like that, the ancient evils that they talk about, that is the kind of creature that the game is pointing toward. The Moravals are those kind of creatures, the creatures from the depths of time and the depths of the earth. Okay, let us check our map. I think we need to go through this gate here. Okay, let's go down and through that gate and see if the name of the city comes up. And get past these spiders. Horrible evil music here. I think that's ancient silver up there. Yes. I won't be collecting that one for you there, Mind Fiend. You'll have to come and get that one yourself. Let's get past these bats. See the blood fangs. I'm hoping that we get a message here soon saying where we are. Perhaps further up this road past these banners. It'll give us a indication of what this town is called. That was a big spider butt there, right in the face. Oh, and I'm certainly looking forward to that as well. Since you see the banners have the Iron Crown of the Witch King upon them. Just to remind you where you are, in case you weren't sure. That yes, you are in the Witch King's territory. But yes, The Hobbit comes out, next Tuesday. And I am surely looking forward to that. I've got to say, I'm actually looking forward to watching it here at home on my TV. I'm going to buy the Blu-ray and put it on and take a look and see whether I actually like it or not. The movie, I mean, being that I've got to say I did see it in the theaters and I saw it in the, let's pull up the map here. See, we've circled all around this blasted thing now and haven't really seen any buildings. I saw it in the theater. I saw it at the high frame rate, the 40 frames per second, 3D, all the bells and whistles and everything. And the experience was so unusual that I've got to say I was so distracted by the 3D and the utter clarity that I don't really know what I think of the movie. I've got to say, as a whole, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I liked the first one. And I've got to say that the 3D really took away from it. I was so caught up in the 3D. That was the first 3D movie I've seen since the 1980s. The last time the big fad of 3D, it's the wave of the future. Whenever it hit again in the 80s. Alright, I'm not getting any kind of name here. There we go, Baal Cathanach. So this is the one that we were looking for. Let's pull up our map, so it's right here. So let's keep looking. Maybe we will see a ring pop up. Apparently, this guy we're looking for is on the south side. Now you see what kind of things we have here. We have Iron Crown. Those are the exact servants of Angmar. We have a lot of these Gortharog. Those are the tribe of trolls that live up here in the regions of Angmar and Carn Dûm. And believe it or not, is that a bunch of Angmaran fishing? That is a bunch of the Iron Crown marksmen and all fishing. My God, I've never seen that before. I swear they have never been out there on those docks. I will give them full props. You can't totally hate a person that likes to fish. So maybe they aren't totally corrupt and evil. Maybe there is hope that one day they might be reformed, should they ever get out of the influence of the Witch King in this foul land, because they like to go fishing. And I think I see something particularly dreadful and evil. Right, we got a ring off to our left, but I see something, I think, rather evil and dreadful over here. Or I thought I did. Maybe not. Thought I saw one of those. They're not Nazgul. What do they call them? Ragmules? The lower powered Nazgul-like creatures. I don't see them anymore. I thought for a moment there I saw an orange name that had ghoul on the end of it. Maybe he's back behind, right in there. Okay. Well, we see a ring on the map, so let's circle on around and see if that is Ragnall. It's on the correct side, and that is the town we were looking for. Yep, there he is, Ragnall. He is hidden in the bushes here. Probably a wise move, as Lord only knows what these evil folk would do to him if they saw him consorting with the enemy. And it must have just become dawn, because my light just snapped off. Not that you can tell a lot about dawn here, as you see. About the only difference is the sky changes and gets that horrible appearance with the evil red streaks going about it. Alright, Ragnall, what have you got to tell us?
You risk your life to come here.
You were sent here by the woman from the south. Here, take this scroll. My people are suspicious. I must go at once. The Moraval have seen you. I must flee. Well, let's see if we can take on a Moraval. She's got a bit of a swing in her walk there, that's for sure. Baby, you may be evil, but your hips don't lie, I can tell you that. Let's see if we can detect some weaknesses. Hopefully your weaknesses are stunningly handsome hobbit burglars. Don't make me hurt you, baby. Why you make me hurt you, baby? Can I stun you? And my target disappeared. This is not the first time this has happened. Didn't this happen in the last episode? I was fighting something and all of a sudden it just disappeared for no real reason at all. I'll have to go back and look at the last episode and see if that really did happen there as well. Because I swear that happened also, that the thing just disappeared. Stun dust. Anyway. Well, we are going to make our way back. Maybe she disappeared because he reappeared. That might be it, because there's Ragnall again. Ready for the next group of people to have to come and find him. Alright, we're going to make our way back to the outpost, and I will see you when we get there. we have made it back to the north side of the pond. Here's the path leading up to, is it Gathforthnier? And that's the second word. I think Gath is the first one. And it looks like it is starting to rain. What an evil, foul rain it would be up here, too. I'm sure all slick and oily and probably has a foul smell like a kennel full of old, wet dogs. Alright, let's go on in. We need to bring the scroll back to Lorniel. And she is a straight shot right from the doors on back. Let's take a look at the scroll to see, first of all, whether or not it's one of those that we can read. Whether it's anything we can pull up. It says a tattered scroll covered in small runes. Nope, nothing that we can read on there. So we will go ahead and hand it over to her and see what she has to say.
Greetings.
Did you find Ragnar? Ah, that must be the scroll he told of. Let me see it.
Could I speak with you a moment?
I fear we may have been deceived, Gnarlo, for this scroll is written in black speech and may say nothing of value. I cannot say, for black speech is not a tongue with which I am familiar. Even so, I would know what this says. Perhaps the elf Laerdan may have some proficiency in this writing. He is an old friend of my father's and is here in Gathforthnier. Take the scroll to him and ask him his opinion. If it may help us free my father, then we must learn its secrets at once. So we must talk to Laerdan, Chapter 3, Opening the Way. Okay. Now let us see if we can find Laerdan. He is here somewhere. I am thinking that he may be off to the right here. There's another little opening, kind of like the one that she has. Is this Laerdan? No, that's Goladir's quarters. I guess he'd be in there. Probably, yeah, you don't have the quest to open Goladir's quarters. So maybe he is back around here where all the other people are holed up and hiding out. Laerdan, Laerdan, where are you, Laerdan? Through there, perhaps. Yes, there's Laerdan. I thought he was in one of these little caves. And I wonder if we would be able to open that door if we didn't have the quest to come and see him. So let's see. Hello, Laerdan. How are you?
The sorrows of the Eldar are never ending.
Yes, and the complaints of the Eldar about their sorrows are also never ending. Alas, but I have never taken the time to learn the cruel mutterings of the orcs. I have no desire to speak with them by any means save my sword. If this scroll did indeed come from Carn Dûm, Elrond Half-Elven may have an interest in it, and he assuredly knows the black speech. Go to Rivendell and seek out the master of the last homely house, if you would know the answer to your riddle. So bring the scroll to Elrond. That we can do. That actually won't be too difficult, because we have our return to Rivendell up here. So we are going to go do that right now. I'm going to use my scrolls, and we are going to look at the map and map back to Rivendell, and I will see you there. We have arrived here in the Valley of Imladris, and I'm sure y'all are laughing at my oversight, in that I should have bound at the milestone there in Gathforthnier while I was there, so that all we would have to do was map back instead of making the travel back up there from the Rivendell Valley here once we get down to Imladris. That would have been much easier. Now I'm actually going to have to travel up there. I'm currently bound over in the Trollshaws. I think at the at Candleheth, or am I there at the camp of... Let's get past the bridge. I'm pretty sure I'm currently bound at the outpost of Elrond and Eldrahan. not Elrond, Elros and Elladan, the sons of Elrond, their outpost in the Trollshaws. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm bound at right now. And since we aren't running any more missions in those parts, I could have easily have bound myself up there at Gathforthner. And wouldn't have to make the ride back, but hindsight is always 20/20. And if we're going to be hanging out in Angmar for a while, I would definitely bind myself back there whenever we return. It is far easier to get a ride just about anywhere since Imladris here, the last homely house, is essentially the most easternmost end of the Great East Road. You can get a ride to just about anywhere along it, all Hobbiton or the Arid Luin or anywhere. Is a lot easier to get stable rides from here to the other parts of Middle-earth than it is to get stable rides to Angmar. But that having been said, let us go on up here all the way to the top, go into Elrond's study, hand him the scroll. Don't even have to ask if he can read it. If for some reason we all know that he can read black speech, if there's some reason why he can't read this scroll, it is definitely for plot reasons only. Let's see, Book 7, Chapter 3, opening
Hope is not
door.
in vain.
What is this? You were sent by the daughter of Goladir and by the elf Laerdan. What a strange fate has brought you hither. The shadow of Angmar has grown with the shadow in the east. Give me the scroll. I will unravel this mystery for you.
Will you lend me your aid once more?
Lorniel's hopes were not wholly in vain, for this scroll does indeed reveal a way to pass the gates of Carn Dûm. The scroll tells of a special key needed, forged of a dire black iron found only in the foul pits of Angmar, and the secrets of its crafting. I believe such a key could be made of mithril, for the strength of Moria's silver may overcome whatever resistance the lock may give. Unfortunately, we have not mithril to use. Perhaps you should seek the aid of Lord Dwalin at Thorin's Hall in Arid Luin. The dwarves know best the secrets of mithril. It is they who you should speak with. I have transcribed the contents of the scroll in Westron. The dwarves should have no difficulty reading it. Alright, so now we have to bring the scroll to Dwalin. And as we know, Dwalin is the new leader over at Thorin's Hall. Once they reclaimed Erebor and Thorin fell in the Battle of the Five Armies, which, spoiler alert, will be coming up in the next movie of The Hobbit, coming up in December. Yes, Thorin falls in that battle, of course. Dwalin moved back west, according to the mythology here in the Lord of the Rings online game, and took up residence as the leader of Thorin's Hall, there in the Blue Mountains of the Arid Luin. So, let us pull up our map once more. We are going to zoom back on out. Here are the Trollshaws. You see, we are currently over here at the Trollshaws. We are at the last homely house. We traveled down from Angmar to the Trollshaws, and now we need to travel all the way back to the west, over here to the Arid Luin, where the elf and dwarf starting lands are. So that is what I will do. I am going to head out over to... which would be easier? Actually... Yep, there's where I'm bound at. The Ekkad Kandalath in the Trollshaws. Wonder if I went to the personal home. Bet so. That's what we were going to do. I'm going to travel to my personal home there in the Shire homesteads. Then I will run over to Michael Delving and grab a horse to the Arid Luin. One thing about this game, you start learning all the little tricks. Well, if I port here and take a ride there, I can then teleport over there. So, Moria is good for that. When we get into Moria, you're going to discover that there are little shortcuts all over the place. It's like, yes, I can take the road, which is like a 15 or 20 minute route to get there, but if I walk 10 feet over here, fight these two guys, go through that door, there's a short little passage which will take me to the back of it. You learn there's several, 2 or 3 little shortcuts like that. And one nice shortcut that if you jump down the well and get lucky, you might end up down in the waterworks. But that's if you get lucky and don't die in the attempt. It's a long drop. Here we are. Back at Four Winding Way, home of Gnarlo. Haven't been back home in a while. I need to do some fishing off my little dock there, and I really need to clean up that chair and get it inside so that the moss and all doesn't keep growing on it. But no matter. Let us mount up. I am going to leave the homesteads here, travel over to Michael Delving, and catch the stable there. Once I get to the stables, we will catch one of the cheap beginner rides over to the Arid Leween at Thorin's Hall, and I will see you when we arrive at Thorin's Gate. And here we are at Freren's Court. Alright. One good thing about whenever it's rainy in Middle-earth, you always know there's going to be a nice snow falling here in the Arid Leween. Always love the snow. That's why I wish I'd been able to get one of the dwarf houses. I would love to have my house back over yonder in the dwarf area, one of the ones that has the hole in the cavern roof and the snow is always falling down into it. Would have been a pretty place to live. Let us go on into the halls of Thorin here. Dwalin should be all the way at the back. Okay, load indoors so I can open you up. There you go. That was definitely a case of dwarf doors are invisible when closed, but not exactly the way I think they meant it to be. Okay, we are in here in Thorin's Hall. Mindfiend always considers this is actually, even though it's an interior, it is actually considered to be a city space. Mindfiend is correct. It is rude to ride a horse through these halls, so we will do that. We will not do that. Instead, we will be like the dwarves and we will ride our goat. There, much better. Let us ride past the statue of Thorin. Dwalin should be straight ahead up all those steps with the throne room in the back here. We will hand the scroll to him and see what he has to say about it. Ah, there he is at the very top. Let us dismount. Once again, I'm going to check, make sure there's no elven scroll. Yep, elegant scroll covered in flowing script. Yep, nothing we can read. Thank you, gentlemen, gentle dwarves. And there's the man himself, Dwalin. Just as bald as he is in the movie, but not quite as muscular and berserker-like. Let us talk to the man. To the dwarf. Chapter 4, Dwarf Mastery.
Well met.
Greetings, Hobbit. You have come from Elrond of Rivendell. Then you will have the aid of Durin's folk. Let me see that scroll.
Will you stay and speak with me a moment?
Chapter 5, What is Needed. That we can forge this key, I have no doubt, but there are some items we will need before we can begin. Master Elrond's instructions say that we need mithril, but there is none to be had in the Blue Mountains. Also, we will need something to cast a mold from. Now, one of the gifts Bilbo took back from the Lonely Mountain was a nugget of mithril. I doubt he understood its value, so he probably left it behind when he returned to Rivendell. However, he may have given it to the Matham House in Michael Delving. Perhaps the keeper of the Matham House can help you with that. As for the casting, Atli Spiderbane sent word that the Archic guards found a ruined key among the bodies of the Blackwolds. John Brockenbook may still have it. If their leader was from Angmar, as I have heard, it may be that key is just what we need to cast the mold. So, we need to go to the Matham House and talk to Keeper Brombard Foxtail in Michael Delving. Then we'll need to travel to Archit and talk to John Brockenbook. Wow, so this is turning out to be an adventure that is taking us back to just about all the beginning areas so that we can kind of do a return to home, a homecoming session while we travel around looking for that which will get us into Carn Dûm. Kind of reminding us that as it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a entirety of the free peoples to overthrow a Dark Lord. Alright, so we are going to leave it off there. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. I have got the entire next week off from work, and I will definitely be getting up some more episodes this coming week. Got a hankering to try and get through this book 7 here. I have been warned, one of my viewers here has warned me in an earlier episode that we've got a mission coming up that may be a little bit too difficult to do with just solo, because the person takes some damage, and of course a burglar can't cast heals. And we aren't the best when it comes to combat either, so I might have to enlist some aid for that. Or we might have to do a little bit of adventuring around and get a little bit tougher in order to take it on. So we'll see what we have to do. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.